When it comes to celebrities, society often favors youth. As people age, they spend more and more money trying to hide the fact that they've grown older. There are countless products designed to conceal wrinkles and other evidence of a long life. It's no secret that growing older isn't always a picnic. Your joints become creaky, your back aches for no reason, and technology seems to advance faster than you can catch up. And yet, old age is also accompanied by wisdom and many other wonderful gifts. Sadly, today there's a lot of emphasis on living life to the fullest while you're young. The younger generations are constantly pressed to become successful right out of high school or college. However, the fact of the matter is that life is very long, and many successful people began their prolific careers later in life. A lesson we don't seem to be teaching properly these days is that age isn't something to fear, it's something to celebrate. Women especially are more frequently subjected to this trap of staying young forever. Many are taught they're no longer beautiful after their face begins to wrinkle and their hair begins to gray. Thankfully, there are still plenty of people out there who argue that women are just as beautiful once they've started to age. Still, plenty of beautiful celebrities seem to fall off the map and out of the public eye once they're no longer young. Sometimes it's because they retire from their career as an actor, singer, or whatever profession they're involved in. Other times, it's because people lose interest and start to follow new up-and-coming celebrities who are still young. There are countless stars who died at a tragically young age, such as Marilyn Monroe, Janis Joplin, and Jean Harlow. Many celebrities become entangled in a life of hard partying and drugs, which often leads to overdoses and accidents with tragic ends. When you no longer hear about a celebrity who was big a few decades ago, it's easy to assume they died of similar reasons. However, this isn't always the case. In today's video, we're going to look at 8 celebrities who are still alive and well today. These powerful women haven't let age get the best of them yet. Make sure you stick around because we're going to reveal one of the last living actors from the golden age of Hollywood. Marge Champion. Marge Champion was born on September 2, 1919, making her 101 years old today. Her father, Ernest Belcher, was a prestigious dance instructor who worked with many Hollywood stars, including Shirley Temple, Gwen Verdon, and Sid Charisse. He instructed Marge at a young age, and she attributes much of her success and physical health to him. She made her debut as a dancer when she was just 11 years old at the Hollywood Bowl in the Ballet Carnival at Venice. She was so advanced in ballet she became an instructor herself when she was 12, and she worked at her father's dance studio to help other aspiring ballerinas. Marge Champion began her career as a model when she was 14. She modeled for animators at Walt Disney Studio, and her movement and modeling was essential to the creation of the classic Disney film Snow White. She also worked as a choreographer and actor. She continued to dance well past the age of 90, and her excellent physical health no doubt contributed to her long life. Anne BUYDENS. Anne BUYDENS was born on April 23, 1919, and she is now 101 years old. She was born in Germany but moved to Belgium while she was young. She studied in both Belgium and Switzerland, but then she moved to Paris once her education was finished. She moved one last time to America, where she became a citizen in 1954. Anne BUYDENS struggled with breast cancer, but after she defeated the illness, she began to work as a philanthropist. She has also acted occasionally. While she never attained the status of an A-list celebrity, she was well known for her marriage to Kirk Douglas. The two remained together until he unfortunately passed away on February 5, 2020. Douglas lived to be 103 years old, but it seems that Anne BUYDEN may even exceed his age. Elizabeth WALDO. Elizabeth WALDO was born June 15, 1918, and she's an impressive 102 years old today. She's descended from Ralph Waldo Emerson, a famous philosopher, essayist, and poet. Her mother, Jane Althea Blodgett, was trained as a singer at the Boston Conservatory of Music. Elizabeth WALDO followed in her mother's musical footsteps, and she took up singing when she was 3. When she was only 5 years old, she began to play the violin. She was so skilled at the instrument that when famous violinist Jascha Heifetz heard her playing, he helped her get a scholarship for the Curtis Institute of Music, which was in Philadelphia. Elizabeth WALDO joined the All-American Youth Orchestra in 1940, and she toured both South America and North America. She later toured solo across Latin America and began researching pre-Columbian instruments and Mayan music. She recorded 8 albums and was the first person to use pre-Columbian instruments in a recording studio. She retired in 2008. Marsha Hunt. Marsha Hunt is one of the few remaining celebrities from the golden age of Hollywood. She was born on October 17, 1917, and is now 102. She acted in many popular films during her time, including Pride and Prejudice, Raw Deal, and Johnny Got His Gun. During the Red Scare, when Americans were terrified of the spread of communist ideals, she was blacklisted from Hollywood films for a time. This was because she was a strong activist for aiding world hunger at the time. Later in life, she also became involved in a lot more activism and advocated for homeless shelters, same-sex marriage, and working against climate change. Marsha Hunt officially retired from her acting career in 2008, and today she lives peacefully in Sherman Oaks, California. Marsha is an inspiration for women all around the world, particularly because she has taken good care of herself and has lived to be 102. However, the oldest living celebrity in the world has outranked Marsha Hunt by quite a few years. Make sure you stick around until the end of this video, where we'll reveal which celebrity is 110 years old today. And if you're enjoying this video so far, take a moment to like it and subscribe to our channel. Beverly Cleary. Beverly Cleary was born April 2, 1916, and is currently 104. She's one of the most successful American authors alive today, and since her first book was published in 1950, she's sold over 91 million copies of her books throughout the world. Despite being such a world-renowned author, she actually struggled with reading as a child. Thankfully, she loved books so much that a school librarian helped her to get better at reading. This sparked her interest in becoming a librarian herself and later an author. Some of her most famous books include Henry Huggins, Beezus and Ramona, and The Mouse and the Motorcycle. Mary Ward. Mary Ward is an Australian actress who was born March 6, 1915, making her 105 years old. She trained in Australia as an actor before moving to England to further her education. During World War II, however, she moved back to Australia and became a radio announcer. This made her one of the first female radio announcers for ABC. Her most famous roles include Mum in the show Prisoner and the character Dee Morrell in Sons and Daughters. She acted for a total of 6 decades before she eventually decided to retire in 2000. While she's kept out of the public eye since her retirement, we can assume she lives a quiet and peaceful life. RENÉE Jean Simonot. RENÉE Jean Simonot was born September 10, 1911, and she's now 109 years old. She's a retired French actress who was the mother and grandmother of 4 other actresses. Her debut as a stage actress occurred when she was just 7 years old. She was one of the first actresses to begin dubbing American films in French, making movies more enjoyable for people who didn't want to use subtitles. She's quite comfortable in her own age, even saying in an interview, "My old age is not sad. I'm very lucky to be surrounded. There's not a day where I don't get a phone call or a visit from my children and grandchildren." Ruthie Thompson. Ruthie Thompson is a legendary woman who is now an amazing 110 years old. While her name has been largely unsung by the public, she has done incredible work as an animator for the Walt Disney Company. She worked on films such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Dumbo, Fantasia, Sleeping Beauty, and an animated version of The Lord of the Rings. While she's officially retired, she still works for the Motion Picture and Television Fund. It's truly impressive to look at all the wonderful things these women have accomplished throughout their lives. Were you more surprised to learn Ruthie Thompson, aged 110, hasn't stopped working? Or that famous author Beverly Cleary used to struggle with reading as a child? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Facts First for more.
This instrument here, which is one of the wind instruments, is this correct?
Yes.
I want to use the right term.
Right.